Before we begin today, ladies, I just want to say that there is absolutely nothing that you cannot accomplish in this world. And I don't have to say that to you for you to know, because I know that you know. But just because we can doesn't always mean that perhaps we should. It is very unspoken about in that how different biologically the woman's body is designed and the woman's body is. Of course, we are equal in every way, but men and women are very different. In this video, we will not be yet speaking about possible solutions, but we will be highlighting an underlying problem. Have you ever felt like your mind and body just don't sync with your work week? As if no matter how hard you work, some days just drag you under. What you very well need to know and realize is because you're a woman or someone with a hormonal cycle, this isn't laziness or mood swings. The modern workforce was actually never designed for your body. For the most part, it's not a you problem, it's a system problem. In today's video, we are uncovering why most work environments are fundamentally incompatible with the feminine infradian rhythm, your hormonal cycle, and how living against it, especially long term, because this is accumulative, affects your mind, body, and your spirit. The world knows of the circadian rhythm, the 24-hour cycle that controls sleep, energy, and focus. You share this as well, although men do not share the infradian rhythm with you. But for those that have the infradian rhythm, a roughly 28-day cycle, which moves through 4 phases, that being menstrual, follicular, ovulatory, luteal phase. These are not just mood swings, although it has an effect upon your mood. These are biological imperatives deeply tied to your hormones, immune system, metabolism, and cognition. And yet, this sacred cycle is ignored, hardly spoken about, not conventionally taught in school. Not just in the workplace is it ignored, but in society at large. So ladies, they really do have you fighting against yourself. And of course, this will vary for some of us depending on which careers we have chosen, what sort of work do we find ourselves in. But for the majority of the cases, the modern workday, from its hours to its expectations, was built on the male hormonal blueprint, which resets every 24 hours. A woman, actually, for the most part, has to work 2 to 4 times harder to keep up this performance. Don't get me wrong. Our species, for the most part, wasn't designed to live this way, regardless of what gender you are. Although the male hormonal design benefits more off the large amount of testosterone or certain amounts of cortisol, the female biological design is not linear. It's cyclical, like the moon, the tides, the seasons. Forcing yourself into a cyclical system in a daily structure will create friction. And again, a lot of the times when you're younger, you're in that fight or flight state within your nervous system for so long, and you kind of think this is normal. It gives you a lot of energy, feels powerful. But after time and as years go by, that's when most women end up running into issues. And because it's not well spoken about or even considered. So what happens? You push through, you perform, you hide your exhaustion, and you suffer because it seems that there isn't much other choices. Living in a constant state of resistance to yourself and your infradian rhythm has a price. Many women experience heightened PMS. Menstrual pain is one of the symptoms, chronic fatigue, hormonal imbalance, increased testosterone, increased cortisol and stress, burnout masked as ambition, and eventually resentments towards your own body. The system doesn't break to meet you. It breaks you until you can't meet it anymore. And because we're taught to internalize the problem, women blame themselves for not keeping up, for needing more rest, for feeling too much. And the truth is, it's not always you, but you are unknowingly, although it is on you to know that it's the environment that you have been forced into. The feminine is many things. It is not one-sided, and there are different archetypes of women. And so this will apply for a mass majority and then perhaps differently for others. For the most part, femininity is not just the way you look, but it's truly an internal state of being. It is an energetic state in which can be observed and experienced, and it is a different state than the masculine state of being. Intuitive, emotional, receptive, and powerful in its very own unique way. We have been programmed for a very long time to see femininity as weakness. And most industries, from finance, tech, medicine, law, certain feminine traits would be looked down upon, would be not rewarded, penalized. For example, needing rest is seen as lazy. Taking time to reflect is insufficient. So women learn to mute this part of them, this essence, although for another conversation, yes, balance is required. But you're taught from a young age to armor up, to be this warrior, and so many of you are. But the thing is, after so long, it gets very heavy constantly walking around with your sword. Masculine traits and behavior are rewarded to stay in your masculine performance loop just to survive. This constant override of our inner truth leads to deep disconnect from the body and eventually burnout of the soul. In workplaces that prioritize output over wisdom, speed over intuition, logic over emotion, feminine energy becomes invisible, or worse, threatening. In a more metaphysical or esoteric sense, the collective consciousness is picking up on these imbalances. Hence why you see such a rise of women wanting to go back into their soft girl era, or women that want to be housewives. There are deeper, significant reasons as to why people oscillate from one extreme to the other and then back and forth again. And so, yes, many women are realizing like something's not right here. I am burning myself out. I am putting on this performance of this tough person that's constantly go, go, go. And as I said, this is a natural resonance for some women, but for many others, they have been told that they had to be this way. And so the question is, how authentic is that for you? Does that make you feel excited? Does that give you the je ne sais quoi of life? Or are you doing it because you feel that you have no choice? If you are waking up to this internal imbalance within you, you are not alone. And you're not broken for fitting into a system that was never designed to hold you. You're waking up to a deeper truth. The feminine energy was never meant to be contained in a time card. Your cycle is not a flaw, it's a compass. And your power doesn't come from sameness, but from rhythm, intuition, and flow. This system may not honor you, but you can learn to honor yourself. You were never meant to be a machine. You were meant to move with the moon. Please consider sharing this video with somebody who is done shrinking themselves to fit into a system that doesn't see them. Comment below if you yourself has felt this disconnect as well. If this video helped you feel seen, and so we can help other women understand what has been going on with them as well. I am Anastasia Agape. Thank you so much for tuning into this video today. And as always, I'm wishing you a beautiful day, evening, or night, wherever you are on this floating rock.